And next, I believe we have Mudit from Polygon joining us. How you doing, sir? Doing great. I guess I just did a little bit of introduction, but maybe we could, I could turn it over to you to start off with just, telling the folks here in person, but also the folks back home listening and paying attention to the stream. An introduction of yourself, your organization, and what you do.
Oh, sure. So I'm Mudit. I lead security and smart contracts at Polygon. Polygon is a layer 2 scaling solution, which is working on scaling Ethereum blockchain. We are building layer 2 rollups using the zero knowledge technology and proof of stake / Validium.
Thank you so much. Could probably dig way more into that, but explaining everything about Polygon would be a big task and won't fit into a 7-minute interview. So I'll jump right into how did you get involved with DeFi Security Summit? What pushed you and the organization to be a gold sponsor?
Yeah, for sure. So I was there in the last year's conference at Stanford, and it was just such nice. Like it was the signal to noise ratio here is so great. It's just like all technical folks, very few of those like marketing folks.
A couple non-technical. Yeah,
I mean, nothing against anyone, but yeah, like as long as it's like constructive talks, it's fine. But if people just keep selling their things, then it gets boring. And if you look at the like agenda here for the day for the conference, you won't find a single talk which is like selling a product. They're all technical detailed talks, and that's why like we wanted to support this. And from like I pushed for it, Polygon saw the opportunity here, and we decided to sponsor.
Well, thank you for that, and couldn't agree more. And one of my favorite signal to noise ratio conferences that I've been to over the last couple of years, last year and this year so far. And it's interesting to get your perspective because you're the only layer or scalability protocol that we have on this interview session, right? And that is a gold sponsor. So, from a large protocol's perspective, what are the most important security considerations to you? I'll ask about the large protocol perspective, but then also just a large organization perspective.
Yeah, for sure. So both for large protocol and large organization perspective, there are like two broad areas for security. One is like the organizational bit, which is basically your IT security, like phishing awareness training for everyone, key management training, and things like that. So that's a very big chunk. And the other chunk is actual like technology security. So AppSec security, making sure the product you are building is technologically sound and secure. And that we do by like audits, internal audits, bug bounties, and things like that.
What type of intersection is there between what some would traditionally call Web 2 cybersecurity and Web 3 cybersecurity as it exists in your organization?
Yeah, for sure. So Web3 cybersecurity is actually just a superset of Web2. So what you have to do in Web2, everything you have to do in Web3 still, and more. Some protocols forget this, and like they forget the basics. They forget to do their key management practices and things like that, and then get wrecked. But Web3 actually, you can't forget the Web2 parts. You have to do them. And Web3 security, the specific bits also translate very nicely. Like in Web2, you have to keep your password secure, for example, from a user's perspective. In Web3, the same knowledge translates into keeping your mnemonic safe. So instead of like trying to teach everyone, hey, mnemonic, keep it safe, like we could just tell them, hey, mnemonic equals to password. Then it automatically hits, like, yeah, they have to keep it safe.
Very interesting, very interesting. And what is a skill? How many folks are on the security team at Polygon? Is it?
Yeah, we are about 15 people.
Got it. And what does that organization look like? Because I imagine, and well, I know, very few organizations in Web3 have a security team that big or that scaled. So, what does that look like?
Yeah, for sure. Like at Polygon, security is a main focus, and you can see by like it's very visible. We are the only ones like sponsoring at events like this. We have by far the biggest security team in terms of protocols. Half of our team is focused towards organizational security, so making sure like our users are educated, key management practices, our Discord, Telegram, Twitter are secure, all of those things, IT security and things like that. And the other half is working on just regular Web3 AppSec security. So they make sure like the software we are writing is following the best practices and is secure.
Wow, so this marriage of Web 2 and Web 3 security just, keeps running through it, which I think is, one of the most important things, personally, right? And kind of like maturing the Web 3 stack, altogether is consideration all around. Really interesting. Thank you for the insights. And what do you think is the most important security consideration, or will be the most important security consideration for the next year?
That's a very interesting question. In the next year, I honestly feel like we need to focus a little more on the Web 2 side of security, because that's something which is being attacked quite heavily by big actors, like big state-sponsored actors. The thing is, like, they are expert. Like, if we talk about DPRK and actors like these, they are expert in exploiting Web 2 vulnerabilities, but they are still very, very, very new in Web 3. So the Web 3 exploits are obviously like you need to be secure from Web 3 perspective as well. But there are more people attacking Web 2 than Web 3 right now. So you gotta focus on that accordingly.
Absolutely. Super interesting. I think that's time. Thank you so much for joining me on stage, and great to meet you.
Thanks for having me.